Alright guys, so this is the first part that's going to be in English, okay? I have 7 videos in total for each, basically the Arabic section will have 7 videos and the English section will have 5 videos, okay? So in today's video we're gonna do storyline plus key levels, okay? And how you're gonna identify the key levels are fresh or unfresh, okay? I think that most of you already know how to mark key levels, so I'm just gonna go through that real quick right here. So you have 4 types of key levels. You have the gap, okay? It's basically where you take 2 same colored candlesticks, okay? So bearish bearish or bullish bullish of any time frame, okay? It does not matter. I'm just showing you here how to mark the key levels, right? So this is bearish bearish. The closing of the first candlestick is always the place where you're gonna mark your line from, okay? So you're not going to mark the opening of the second candle, because sometimes on some brokers, as you can see, there is some delay in here. So just mark the closing of the first candlestick. Do not mark the openings, okay? You should not mark the openings, okay? This is the gap. It can be bearish or bullish, right? So that's the thing, right? Now the second type and the third type are basically easy and the same. So for A levels, basically on the line chart, it looks like an A letter. That is it, okay? And the opposite, which is the third type, it's the V level. Basically the first candlestick is bearish, the second candlestick is bullish. You mark the closing of the first one. For the A level, the first candlestick is green, the next candlestick is red, okay? Now for the fourth type, which is the QM, okay, Quasimodo HNS, it's basically an A level that is hidden behind a bigger A level to it. So let's say this one, right? You drag it to the right. Now, as you can see, there is a bigger A level above it, okay? So the old A level becomes a QM. That is simply it, like this. This is the pattern for it, all right? Now, how do you mark if your key level is fresh or unfresh? You basically look if it's touched with a wick or a body. Okay, what's the last type of price action that went through it? Right, the last type of price action that went through it is a body. Okay, so that is fresh. Simply as you can see here, there is a wick, it was unfresh, and then body closed above it, it becomes fresh again, and then wick, the second use. Okay, we used it for the second time, and then broke it, it became fresh again, and then it's kept going through it with bodies. How many times do you guys use a certain key level? You use it 5 times, alright? So this is the first use, second use, we can go touch it 3rd time and then break it 4th time, break it 5th time, and then you delete this level. You no longer use it. But the 5 times use, okay, rule apply only to the daily. It does not apply on the lower time frame. Okay, now we are on the 4 hour. So 2 uses are enough for you to say that this key level is not valid anymore. Okay, so this is the first use, okay, and then this is the second use. All right, now this key level is not really that good to use for I don't know, entries, whatever. Okay, now let's go and start by looking at the daily key levels. Okay, when you go to the daily key levels, all right, what's the first thing that you should do is to determine your daily storyline. Basically, you should know where the price is exactly gonna go. Where is it coming from? Why is it going from there? Okay, why did it stop here? Okay, it's very easy. You're gonna use this theory on the market where that it says price likes to go from a fresh key level to another fresh key level, and then once it's done with that storyline, okay, it will decide to either go to another fresh key level or it will go to the next fresh key level, okay? And there are signs that's going to tell you if it's gonna go lower or actually start a bullish storyline again, okay? And these signs are always 1 time frame lower. So for the daily storyline, you're gonna use the 4-hour confirmations, okay? There are 2 types of confirmations. The first confirmation is always on the same time frame. So if you're looking at the daily storyline, the first confirmation is going to be on the daily, and if you're basically on the weekly, you're going to use the weekly confirmation, and the second confirmation will be 1 time frame lower, so that would be on the daily, and for daily it would be 4 hour, so on and so forth. Okay, we only use daily, weekly, monthly storyline. We do not use lower time frame storyline. Okay, now let's say this is daily, right? Okay, daily here, price goes there. The first confirmation, which is 10%, okay, it's a rejection on the daily, right? On the daily. this will basically make you aware, okay, to watch price here of what it's gonna do on the 4 hour. On the 4 hours, it might do an external breakout, okay, a break of structure on the line chart. Okay, I do not care about candlesticks here, only in one scenario that I'm gonna explain in a bit. Right, price goes higher and then does a breakout. Okay, this breakout, this low right here, basically is a V level on the line chart. We can either break it the first day or the second day or the third day. Okay, you have 3 days time limit. Okay, guys, and then from there you have the first confirmation, second confirmation, and now you're gonna say, okay, we're gonna go to the next daily fresh key level, right? And then this fresh key level, it's either gonna stop it, okay, make a new 4-hour breakout, and then goes higher, or it won't do that in 3 days time limit, maybe touch another daily fresh level right here, and then keeps going lower to another fresh daily key level. Okay, all right. So where did the price go up from here? It went up from this fresh daily key level. Now once you go to the 4-hour, you can see that the external breakout is right here. It is not this one. Okay, why? What's the difference? The difference is simple. Okay, when you go to see this key level right here, it has been made after the touch of the daily. So we touched the daily on the 4-hour right here. Okay, you split price action in 2, and now this was made before it and this was after it. So this is internal and this is external. All right, you only use the external breakouts, guys. Understood? Very simple. This is basic stuff. I've explained this before in previous videos. Okay, so I know most of you guys are here to learn more about ISL, HSL, Ingolfs, the new way of SNR trading. Okay, that will also be included in the next videos, so just be patient. I have to cover this because some students or some people don't have an idea about what I'm saying right now. So yeah, just bear with me, be patient. I'll be sharing everything with you in the next videos. All right, so now let's say the daily, right? Where did it react from here? Why is it reacting bullishly from here? And why did I catch a buy on CPI? Right, so when you go and check, there is a daily key level, but is that enough? Is that enough? No. This daily, okay, alone is very high risk, but if you multi-time frame it with the weekly, we have a weekly fresh level as well here. So weekly, monthly MTF, weekly MTF daily, okay, that is strong. That's where I catched my buy. I did not enter buy right here. I waited for a certain confirmation and I entered on the second candlestick. All right, I will be explaining the confirmations, the lower time frame entries. I will even show you how to enter against storyline. Okay, all right, I entered the sell right there, I entered the buy right here, entered another sell right here. So I will be explaining all of these entries in the upcoming videos. Okay, so it's the same thing for the weekly. When you go to the weekly, you will need to wait for a weekly reject weekly and then a daily breakout. So daily breakout right here, this is the external breakout. That's why price kept going higher. All right, now where did this sell come from? It came from this gap level right here. Okay, so we have the rejection on the first day, and when you go to the 4-hour, you see that you're gonna have the breakout on the third day. Okay, the last day. That's why after this breakout, I had sell opportunities in here. So price went lower. Maybe I took this level for a sell. Okay, so yeah, the same thing with the monthly. When you go to the monthly, you're gonna see a monthly reject monthly, weekly breakout right here, weekly, okay, the weekly breakout, and then what's gonna stop the monthly? The next monthly level. Okay, so it does the breakout. Where's the next monthly level? Next monthly level was here, okay, and then all-time high, there was no monthly levels, so nothing really stopped it because there was no monthly levels to stop it. And whenever there is a new one, it simply breaks it. It does not reject it. But let's say we rejected it here, we had a weekly breakout bearish, now we look for sells. Okay, so yeah, it's basically the same thing being repeated every single time to catch your next level that you're gonna go to. So if you're gonna keep going lower, okay, this is maybe my next level, this is my next target, okay, this can be a next target, this can be a next target, and you just multi-time frame all these levels with a weekly, right? And maybe you will find a weekly level that is MTF'd with the daily, right? You can even have this left QM right here, okay? That can be as a target, all right? But if price decides to do what exactly? Daily reject daily. When you go to the 4 hour, what you're gonna see? The last A level that has been made before the touch. If we break this, okay, today or tomorrow, or basically 3 days time limit, okay, price is gonna turn bullish, okay? We will go to the next daily level. Where's the next daily level? It can be right here, 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 all right? And then maybe that will be right before the next week opening candle. And when you go to the weekly, right, you can see that we have a daily MTF weekly. So this is the strongest level from these four. So you can have a high risk sell there maybe in the future. It really depends on basically some other factors. All right, as I guys said, one more time, I'm gonna mention it. I'm gonna explain everything in the next few sessions. All right, so today is just going to be for storyline, direction, daily reject daily, 4 hour breakout, weekly reject weekly, daily breakout, next key level, past key level. That's simply it. Okay, just watch your key levels and rejections and breakouts on one time frame lower. Once you have that, you look for the next targets. Okay, you have few targets here, few targets there, and all the game will be on the lower time frame later on. Okay, so just master this. Okay, master this. What I want you to do is you go to the charts. Okay, look at any time frame, okay, and look where price is reacting from. Okay, why is price going down from here? For example, this sell right here, it came from this key level. Okay, where did this buy come from? It came from this key level, right? There are levels that got broken through like these. Okay, don't worry about these key levels. I just want you to get the levels that give reactions, like this one right there, right? Like this one right here. Now this is what's important. I will show you how to get all these key levels in the future. Like for example, this sell, it came from this QM, right? But originally, if you take a look here, on the 1 hour I had a decisional level that was right there. Okay, now decisional levels are in another way of trading. You cannot combine them with a storyline or anything like that. That will also be explained in a special video. Okay, I'm gonna have one video that is only for decisional levels. Alright guys, thank you, and I'll catch you up on the next video.